Hello and welcome to the second episode of Curly Chats. I hope you enjoyed last week's, but this week we have a little bit more chatting to do. So let's get into it. So basically I'm going to walk you guys through the last few years of my life because it has seriously been such a whirlwind. But first I want to give you guys a little brief introduction about my dance background, my family background, because that's really the reason why I'm here chatting with you guys today. So if you don't know, I am originally from Missouri, a very, very small town, and I have lived there my whole life until the last 2 years. I feel like a fact that you guys might have already guessed about me, but you might not know is that I am an only child, so for the rest of the story, you can kind of take that as you want. So I started dancing around the age of 3 years old, and then I believe I began competing around 5 years old. Even before I was born, my dad opened up a karate school, so I was born as a little karate girl, and I am a black belt. That is my fun fact for most things. When people ask, I'm like, let me shock you real quick and tell you I'm a black belt. So I grew up doing both dance and karate, which they kind of honestly correlate more than you think. I also grew up in a very Christian household, which I am so grateful for because I had seriously the most amazing role models as parents. So at the age of 13, I personally made the decision to accept Jesus into my heart. I remember when I was 13, I ran downstairs to my mom and was like, Mom, I want to do this. You know, this is the decision I made. And then I was actually leaving for Summerfest camp, which is just a church camp that I went to. And so I left I think the next day, and I happened to get baptized at the lake there. And so my parents drove 4 hours up to this lake and came and watched me get baptized in a lake, which was really, really special. And I love looking back on pictures of just such a memorable moment in your life. So like I said, I grew up doing both dance and karate, but at about the age, I think I was 12, my parents chose to sell the karate school. I have found a knot. A very bad knot. So after we sold the karate school, I was fully committed to dance, and I competed all the way up until the age of 15. So at that time, I had already been on my dance team for 1 year, and I made the decision to stop competing with my studio and just kind of train and then do my dance team for high school. And at that point, I did have DCC on my mind, but I wasn't 100% sure. This might need scissors. Guys, I just pulled the actual knot out of my hair. Whoopsie. At that time, making the decision to stop competing, it was honestly really hard because it was something I loved, but I just, I kind of felt like God was leading me in a different direction. So it was really cool. The last 2 years of my high school dance team, we won state for Missouri, and also my junior year, I was so blessed because this was such a confirmation and a moment of just peace that I made the right decision.